you.
All right. Yeah, well, yeah. Live from the prayer closet. It's Saturday night. I just totally stole that from SNL, but whatever.
It's ours now.
It is. Welcome.
It's going great. Thanks for asking, Amy.
You're welcome. Love your Taylor Swift shirt.
Thank you.
Rocking it.
Love your On the Haunt shirt.
I mean, I only wear it every other day of my life. I mean, it has a hood. What's not to love?
I know. I think I need to get me one.
It's so comfy.
Okay. Welcome to On the Hunt.
Yes. This is a paranormal comedy podcast.
Why am I saying that?
I don't know. I mean, we talk about paranormal things.
We do?
We never set out to intentionally make it a comedy one, but it is. It just is what it is. It's who we are. So
we're dumb, but
don't give up on us, though.
No.
Been looking at some of our stats.
I mean, there's
on our podcasting platform, and we're trickling off a little bit, guys. Come on, now.
Get out there, promote us, please. Yeah. We love you.
Download us, share our pages with anyone. Everyone. I was gonna say page, and I'm like, no, wait.
We have all the pages.
All the pages.
Yeah, download. That would be great. Okay, we'll stop. Begging.
Yeah,
it's not.
We got to get back in our group. We haven't been in 2 weeks.
Has it been 2 weeks?
Yeah, because we recorded 2 episodes last time we were in. So. It's always hard to get our group back. It's really weird.
It is.
Really strange. And I never know when we're coming in. And so my story is like a week and a half old and I remember nothing about it.
That's going to make it even better.
So if it sounds like I'm reading from it, it's because I am. I can't help it. I'm a human being, people. Bear with me.
Here she maybe gets all angry at the listener. And that's the part where we yell at you.
Thank you for your constructive criticism, everyone.
Amy, what have you been up to lately?
I mean, just, living my life.
Read an open book?
I did.
Oh my God.
Simpson.
I read it all.
Good.
Almost 400 pages.
Yeah. And if she genuinely wrote that herself, I'm really impressed.
I am too.
She's smarter than I gave her credit for.
I know. I really enjoyed it. I
appreciated
her for all of her honesty. Sorry, my skin is... I have so much aquaphor on my face.
It's absolutely glowing right now.
It's highly flammable, probably the petroleum on my skin. It's like peeling off.
You're a walking fire hazard.
I am right over top of a couple candles.
Because neither one of us charged our little reading lights.
My face is going to melt into the candle. What am I even saying? Okay, great.
I'll take a picture and post it on our social media.
Whitney has died.
More likes. Some people are into that morbid stuff. You never know.
Heck yeah.
Want to see a melted face?
Here's Whitney's melted
Share her page. Please.
I would do that for the podcast.
Thank you.
Get me over here.
You're so selfless.
I know. Anything for you.
Let's see. What have I been doing?
What else is
up? Keaton and I went and saw Birds of Prey last weekend. That was pretty good.
Fun.
The new Harley Quinn movie.
Awesome.
I decided, since the weather's been crummy, I started rewatching all the episodes of True Blood.
Oh, nice.
Which is so funny because I remember when it came out, 10 years ago or whatever, I was obsessed and thought it was such a great show. And now, I don't know, it's because I'm watching it through 43-year-old eyes or because it's the year 2020.
Yes.
It is
didn't
so
age
lame.
well. It didn't age well, huh?
So lame. I mean, I'm still watching. I'm on season 4. I think there are 7. But yeah, kind of lame.
Kyle and I started watching, watching a little more Catfish, as if it's 2015. But
always valuable information to get from them.
It was great.
So that way you don't end up on Dr. Phil someday.
Oh my God, yeah.
No.
Did you know that Sean P. Diddy Combs' son is on Catfish sometimes as a co-host?
No, I did not.
It's very random.
Learn something new every day.
P. Diddy, what are you doing? With your life? What am I talking about?
Well, it's not him, right? It's his son.
Right, yeah, I know. God.
Not J-
I'm sorry.
He's not doing J-Lo, I can tell you that.
Womp, womp, womp. J-Lo killed it at the... Did we already talk about that last week? Or the week before?
No,
I don't
think we recorded before the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I don't either.
Great, we're dumb. Is this boring? Probably.
Yeah, sorry.
Shall we just
They're like, where's the paranormal stuff?
Yeah.
Well,
shall we
okay,
just do it?
Here it comes in. It's going to be just as much of a surprise to you as it is to me. 'Cause I don't remember
do you remember
what my
your
story
topic?
is.
It's so appley in here. Mulled cider.
Yeah, very.
Can you see
scented,
good?
So scented.
What is
Yes, I can if you'd stop moving the candles.
Sorry.
I am going to be talking about the.
I love this voice you always. You get this every time. Do you know that?
I don't know. I'm
going to be talking.
Listen, I'm like
sexual.
the people on the newscasters. You know,
The
they
people
don't really.
on the newscasters. You mean yes? I'm
People
with
that
you.
are on the news, whom are newscasters.
I'm with
That's
you.
what I meant to say. Who you know?
I'm an ass,
They
I'm
do
sorry.
like the, and I am here to talk to you.
And
about-"
I'm
like they totally changed up their
Barbara
voice.
Walters.
Bubba Wawa. There used to be an SNL skit way before you would ever know. My friend
I know
Stacy
that.
and I used to we would have sleepovers and just
Who did it?
laugh so hard. I think it was Sherry O'Terry.
Yeah, I bet so.
I'm Bubba Wawa, and this is 2020. That's so great. I would try to do this entire story in that voice, but I don't think I could keep it up.
No, and I
So
mean, I
sorry.
would not even be able to listen to what you're saying.
I am covering
Barbara.
the Beechworth Lunatic Asylum. No?
Yes,
I can't keep that up.
Barbara Walters.
Because I have to shake
What
my head
an
the whole
American
time I do.
treasure. I'd have to take you to like a chiropractor.
I know, right?
Amy has to wear a neck brace to do her.
Whiplash from being Bubba Wawa. Okay,
Barbara
so
Walters. Okay.
Beechworth Lunatic Asylum. You
Let's
ask,
do it.
what is it?
What
Where
I
is it?
do.
Wait a minute. I don't know if I can answer those questions I'm giving you.
Located.
But,
You do know
well,
that.
hang on. My sources are Real Haunted Hospitals and Mental Asylums by Zachary Knowles
Oh.
and Wikipedia. I really kept it short and sweet and to the point.
Hey,
this time
Wikipedia.
around.
Great
So,
stuff.
The Beechworth Lunatic Asylum, which is so horrible that they actually called it that. That's
Lunatic
so politically
Asylum.
incorrect nowadays. But
that's
anyways,
where we would be,
back
Amy.
in those days. For sure, we would.
They're witches!
We would never have gotten out of there.
No. But we would run that.
You better believe it.
Run the world.
And a
Amy and
thing
Whitney.
called a ha-ha wall. And we'd be like, which is really cruel, but I'll get to it.
Oh, God.
Like, ha-ha, you ain't getting out of here. So they called it a ha-ha wall.
Oh, my God.
That's so mean. People were kind of dicks back in the day.
That's true.
I mean, there still are some roaming the streets, but I
mean,
for real, sure. Back in and they all worked at lunatic asylums.
Yeah, and it's like, why?
Like
you
no
know?
one kind. Well, there was one. Oh my God. Okay, I'm just gonna read this. Look at me.
your
I'm like,
story.
let me give all my spoilers.
You know a lot about this. You know more than
It's
I'm
all
good
coming.
at to know.
It's all coming back. It's all
me
coming
now.
back to me now.
Beautiful.
I love Celine. There. See, I'm doing other stuff with
Hold
my
on,
neck.
didn't Celine called Jessica? Remember from the book?
Oh yeah.
That was cool.
It was cool.
Okay, you should
she's
read
like,
it.
Because she was in the hospital,
Yes,
right?
why?
She's like, this is Celine Dion. That was an SNL skit, too. I am Celine Dion, and I am the greatest singer in the world.
And I'm married
that?
to what's that?
No, he died.
Oh shoot! And I was married to
Renee.
Renee. God. Anyway,
Okay, maybe you and I belong at the Beechworth Lunatic Asylum.
no, we already established that for sure. We're at the ha-ha wall. Okay.
We are at the ha wall.
Moving on.
So, it's located in Beechworth, which is a town of Victoria, Australia. I don't know how
Is
Australia
it town
works.
of Victoria?
Yeah, so it's like Victoria, like a state, like Missouri.
Province or
Like, I guess. I knew nothing about anything outside of the continental U.S. It's really sad, but it's true, and I'm not going to pretend
Australia? What a place, though.
Yeah. So it was the fourth hospital of its kind that was built in Victoria, and it didn't close until 1995. So it was
Whoa.
around for a while.
So you could have literally been there.
Yeah, for real. Like, my senior year of high school. That's the year I graduated from high school. So it was there for 128 years before it closed
Wow.
in 1995. And it was originally called the Mayday Hills Lunatic Asylum. Like,
Mayday!
Help! Yeah, great.
Help! I'm in the ha-ha wall.
Don't know why they changed it to. Well, I might get to that. I don't know.
We'll get there.
Know. Maybe
We'll know.
We'll see. Come on this journey with me, everyone. Let's see what we
learning
find out.
together.
We are.
But you're about to have the same experience on my story. So
Okay. And as I was researching, I actually learned that the first guy who was in charge of the hospital probably shouldn't have been in charge of it. I'm going to refer to it as hospital because I think asylum is a terrible word.
Yes.
And isn't that a verb? Like people seek asylum.
Yes.
So that's what
people
it is.
seek asylum there.
Yeah.
No, they didn't.
No, they
were
didn't.
Put there.
No, and I'm going to get to how terrifying it is
To be put in there.
to how easily you could be placed in there. So it was great.
Be like a single woman.
Yeah, pretty much. So the first guy that was in charge of the hospital was a guy, I don't know his name.
Doesn't matter.
But he believed that the moon caused insanity.
Great.
And he would not go out at night without an umbrella. Like, what a dork.
As if it's going to protect
And like, that's
you.
Newsflash, man whose name I don't know. The moon illuminates all around you.
It's everywhere.
So good thing they put him in charge. He
What year
sounds like
was
he's
that?
a real sound mind. Well, I don't know, whatever 128 years before 1995 is.
Yeah, the 1800s. So
yeah.
Okay.
So,
Oh my God. Wow.
while.
Smart. That's smart. Great.
So, here's something that's even scarier than the fact that it was run by a psychotic Mary Poppins wannabe guy. You could be admitted to the hospital with only 2 signatures. And they didn't have to be signatures of family members or a doctor. Just if this 2 people would sign a paper, you were in.
And they
That's it.
Or did you have to be there? Then would they go find you? I wonder. I mean,
they could probably just go get you and haul you off. And it could be friends, families,
Enemies.
casual acquaintances. Just yes,
Enemies,
I'm sure you
your
know
boss.
as well as I do. There were probably people with very malicious intent that did that. But so you had to have 2 signatures to get in. And it required 8 signatures to get out. And typically those were signatures of medical staff.
Oh,
whom were already like, well, you're here, so you're obviously crazy. So really, if you were in there, you spent the rest of your life locked up in this place. So
scary.
So scary and so sad that you... I don't know. That just terrifies me. It reminds me of like the Salem witch trials or something where you're persecuted for really no there's no evidence saying you're crazy other than a couple people were like,
well, and everyone's just ideas about you determined your entire fate.
Right.
Yeah. Without any sort of evidence or proof.
Yeah. And I even put on there, so if someone was just, also another thing that they did was if someone was just kind of wandering the streets, which is how it was worded in the book, which to me is like, that's called homelessness.
Oh. Or sex
workers, or
not necessarily, I
don't know, or someone who maybe, well, probably though, they could and usually would be sent to an asylum. Anytime they would see someone just kind of wandering on the streets who clearly didn't have some place to be going to, they would just come along, round them up, and throw them in the asylum. Approximately 1/3 of all patients who entered never left alive.
Oh.
So
that's great.
Yeah, pretty crazy statistics. Some of the ridiculousness that went down behind the walls of the Beechworth lunatic asylum,
quote unquote.
It housed 600 men and 600 women, roughly. So it was about 50-50 with the population, with 1,200 patients, pretty much at all times.
So it had to be massive.
Yes, huge. Doctors have fully equipped labs for experimenting on their patients.
Great.
Some of the labs were even rumored to house jars filled with just body parts for them to do all sorts of experiments on. And it's to be noted, it's not like they were having body parts shipped in. These were body parts of the patients who
they killed,
either died, they murdered them, whatever happened to those poor people. And so then they're like, well, we're just going to keep these body parts in a jar. And then, I don't know if they were like Dr. Frankenstein in that crap, and then they
probably didn't have family members who were like, hey,
what?
Where are they?
No, 2 people assigned them in.
Right.
Could have been 2 people that just wanted to take advantage of them for something. There are probably a lot of people whose family members didn't even know that they were in there.
Yeah, absolutely. mean, you may have just been walking to the grocery store.
For sure.
I mean, I don't know
So
what Victoria's like, maybe. My perception of what Australia's like is giant spiders and snakes everywhere.
Everything's the bush.
Everything's the bush. There's no stores.
No, there's nothing that's not the bush.
It's very hot.
Yes.
Sunburns.
Oh, what's that show I watched? Crap.
In Australia?
I think it's set in Australia.
There's not a lot of
like
movies.
where the people like come back from they're dead and then all of a sudden they've returned.
Is it called The Return?
No. Glitch?
I don't know.
It's very similar to The Return.
Okay.
I think it's called like Glitch.
I've honestly not watched many movies or shows set in Australia.
But I'm pretty sure that's where it's at. Okay, I'm sorry.
There aren't many though, right? Like I can't think of a lot of...
No, not really.
Not in the United States anyway. Not that we know of. I'm sure they have
no.
movies.
Why am I looking off into space? I don't know. People are... And this is why our downloads are dropping off.
Because we're staring up into space.
But pondering whether or not we've watched TV shows set in Australia, which has absolutely nothing to do with this.
Nobody gives a shit.
No. Nobody.
Not even us.
We don't even give...
We're sorry.
Yeah.
We're
Moving
sorry.
On. Okay, so something to keep in mind. Psychiatric meds weren't even a thing until the 1950s, which I guess I never really thought about that.
Wow. Sorry. Overreaction.
So straight jackets were very common.
Oh my God.
For controlling behaviors that could possibly be deemed as aggressive. So I'm like, well, great. I just spent my whole life in a straitjacket while I was there because
you have RBF.
I do.
They're
100%.
Like, she's so mean.
Get her in her straitjacket
before she pops off on you.
For sure. She's hangry all the time.
Amy is RBF. I'm constantly like, I have a lunatic smile always. So
that would get you in the straitjacket.
We're quite
And I like to talk with my hands, so that would really drive me crazy to be in a straitjacket. Like I can't
I thought
be animated.
I thought you were going to say that they would take that as aggression.
Well, they probably would. Another thing that was very common was electroshock therapy. And I know we've seen that portrayed in movies and on television. And it does look absolutely horrific when you see it reenacted, if you will, in like these fictitious things. But something to keep in mind that during actual electroshock therapy, the body contracts so hard that bones and teeth would break.
Oh.
Yeah.
Whoa. They don't put something in your mouth? Like a mouth guard?
Nope, that's
not
just for movie purposes. So something to keep in mind, just to give you an idea of how intense that was. I don't even know how anyone could.
No, and when you think of electroshock therapy, like I just kind of thought it was just a little shock.
No, they're legit like frying them. So even if you went in there perfectly sane,
they
not
made
coming
you
out.
Yeah.
I hate the word insane, but that's what they would refer to it as. So great. Good times. Had by all. So the Grevillea wing, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, of the asylum is where they would take people into electroshock therapy group sessions.
What?
So I can't even.
What does that even look like? Are you in a chair or on a stretcher? I wonder.
I don't know. I just
Are you in a
imagine them all
circle?
sitting around in a circle and just like, poor people's teeth are just like flying all over the place.
Not funny.
That is so horrible.
Oh.
And it's like, how many machines do you have? Are you like shocking someone and taking it off of them and move? So like you're sitting there like, oh God.
I'm next.
You know how like when you're in elementary school and everyone has to read out loud and you're like counting to see so then you can read your paragraph.
Yes.
Know what you're going to read. That's what it's like. Like,
oh
God.
Or if not, like, what's your electrical capacity of the...
Right.
All the lights short?
So many fuses that they go through.
Blowing.
There. But anyway, so that wing of the asylum is said to be one of the most haunted areas
I could imagine.
Of the building.
Were people dying, I wonder, when they had that?
Well, an estimated 3,000 to 9,000 patients died while there.
Oh.
So that's a pretty significant number of people.
Yes.
So in 1951, a fire swept through the male wing of the hospital, and 11 patients escaped, and only 7 were located and returned. So 4 people got out. Way to go. Allegedly, though, they might also be in jars in the lab. Who knows? So let's start talking about some of the hauntings at the Beechworth Lunatic Asylum. Thought it was my bloomin' onion backstick. I don't know.
What are you saying?
I'm trying to be Australian.
Oh my God.
Which I don't. If you ever like read anything on like BuzzFeed or anything like 100 things Australians wish Americans
Didn't
knew.
say bloomin' onions.
Yeah,
Good day,
Outback
matey.
Steakhouse is nothing like the food they actually
the
serve
shrimp on
in
the
Australia.
barbie.
Vegemite, come from a land down under.
What's that?
Men at Work. They're Australian, I think. Their song says something about a Vegemite sandwich.
What the? I mean, I've heard of Vegemite, but what is it? Is it like a spread?
I've heard it's a spread, but anyone I've ever heard, and by that I mean BuzzFeed comments. That's not Australian who's eating it, and don't they eat fairy bread too, which is basically like
fairy bread.
It's like bread with just like cupcake sprinkles on it, and by bread I mean like Wonder Bread, just a regular
with
slice of bread with like
sprinkles?
Like little cupcake sprinkles.
Okay, I have to Google right
fairy
now.
bread.
So sorry.
Look it up.
Fairy bread.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, nothing about it sounds appetizing.
Oh yeah.
Right? See?
Allrecipes.com has a recipe.
It's like something I don't know, a 6-year-old would eat for every meal if left to
great
their
Aussie
own.
kids' party favorite.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Sick.
That's fine. They probably think the same thing about us and freaking flaming hot Doritos.
It's covered with margarine and then topped with colored sprinkles.
Yeah.
Make a freaking cookie.
Yeah,
like
or a grilled cheese.
or a cake.
Yeah.
It's
how lazy.
It's literally white bread with the crust trimmed off, margarine and candy sprinkle. Oh, that's disgusting. I've never. Okay.
This is an educational podcast. If you
About
didn't know
recipes.
what fairy bread was.
I do love the name fairy bread though. It's really fun.
That is fun. And it looks fun, but not
doesn't
to
taste.
eat.
No.
Like use it as a decoration.
I do love buttered bread.
Yeah, I just don't like bread. I like Subway bread and Panera bread, but like
you don't like a
if
good
I'm eating like
Wonder
pulled pork or like a sloppy joes or something, I have to put it on chips. There's something about biting in
to soggy bread.
Yeah.
Oh, see, I love a good buttered Wonder bread or bunny bread, just like real white bread.
No. Not me.
But the idea of putting sprinkles on top of that,
that's
is
gross.
Nasty.
Yeah.
How about a graham?
Don't go together.
No. How about a graham cracker with some icing?
Oh, Dunkaroos. Remember those?
Dunkaroos are coming back, baby! Yeah! Oh my God. We're the biggest losers.
We are reeling our listeners back in.
Dunkaroos!
We are going to be over 86.
Yeah, we are. 87, baby.
Tell your friends.
Dunkaroos. Dunkaroos are so good.
Yeah.
I never really had them in my lunchbox, so I really wanted to, but
I feel like I had them at a friend's house once.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never had
we
anything.
were freaking losers.
I had peanut butter and crackers.
Yep.
And by that I mean like saltine crackers that I actually spread my own peanut butter on. And like if we were having a real good week at our house, somebody might be able to afford some fruit roll-ups and so that was a real treat.
Roll-ups.
Yeah.
Did you have Gushers? Was that a thing when you were a kid?
I don't think that was a thing. But my kid Carter loves those now. And you can buy them they come in king size bags now.
Whoa!
You buy a big box and it says, I don't know if it's called king size, but they're like the big bags. It's
Yeah.
So manly. Carter with your gushers.
We're a king.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about the hauntings. Oh my God.
Back to haunting.
We're sorry if you came here just for paranormal.
But we like food.
But now's your time to shine if you did come here for paranormal. So...
That was good.
Thank you.
Real good.
That's called a
callback. No.
I was going to say meet cute, but no, that's what
that's what we are.
We are meet cute.
That's how we met. Meet cute. Amy was pregnant.
This is a transition back to what it was supposed to be in the first place.
Was that the word you were looking for? Transition?
No.
Oh. Okay.
No, there's an actual word, but
we don't know things.
No.
That's the whole point of this whole podcast.
Especially about acting or directing.
No.
Or why Joaquin Phoenix gives speeches about cows. It's the freaking Oscars, Joaquin. Move along. Okay, so there's a woman patient, name unknown, obviously, who would sit quietly every day in the window smoking. Which I guess, like, if you're locked up in a hospital, like, you may as well smoke.
Why not?
You're going to die there, so that's like
maybe speed it along.
That's like your me time.
Dang it, they didn't have
And
vapes.
apparently, when she was out of cigarettes, she was real unpleasant to be around. So they were like,
they
"Here
got
are your cigarettes.
Here, take them."
So then one day, another patient asked to bum a stick. I put that in there.
That is cool. That's like dropping the kids off at the pool.
It is.
I've never heard someone
bum
say
a
that.
Stick.
Do people say that?
Yeah. God, you grew up apparently in a fancy neighborhood. Because on my street corner, people bummed a stick.
You live in the neighborhood I grew up in.
And it's fancy. No one's ever asked to bum a stick from me there.
Because there's nowhere to go to bum a stick. You're just on the side of a county road
to ask to bum a stick.
There's no sidewalks. You can't.
We saw a guy standing on the side of the road one day, and Keaton's like, "Oh my God, what is he doing there? That's so scary. This middle of nowhere." Then she's like, "Well, maybe he's selling something." I'm like, "Selling what, Keaton? Wishes? He's literally walking up the road with nothing. Give me a break."
Selling wishes.
Like, what do you think he's selling?
Bitcoin, like things that are not real and are virtual.
Yes.
What am I talking about?
I don't know. So anyways, one of the patients wanted to bum a stick.
Got it.
So the other lady was like, these are my cigarettes. This is my time.
Back the
I really
F
enjoy.
off.
So apparently a scuffle broke out.
Oh.
And the window smoker fell out the window to her death.
Oh my God.
Yeah, all over bumming a stick. So anyways, apparently she was Jewish.
Okay.
And in the Jewish faith, you're not supposed to touch the body until a rabbi comes and does something.
Didn't know that. Oh God, what did they do?
So it took 48 hours for a rabbi to get there. So they just left her lying on the lawn.
Did they cover her?
No. So all the patients spent 2 full days just seeing this woman
splattered all over
the place.
Could they have covered her, or would that be wrong?
They could have.
Yeah, I mean, that's not touching her with your hand. Yeah.
So nowadays, people report seeing.
I'm with you.
Her face in a window where she was often seen smoking
cigarettes. She's like,
She's just hanging out in that window still, I guess.
Trying to bum a stick.
Still trying to, not letting anyone bum a stick. I would rather die plunge to my death than let you bum a stick. I hope at least for her sake, the pack of cigarettes were
fell
in her
with
pocket.
her, yes. Yeah. She's like, F you! As she's falling.
Because although the other lady, if she dropped him when she fell in the air, they just picked him up and lit one up, that's kind of badass. Right?
She's also our hero, maybe. Yeah. I mean, what do you have to live for, you know?
And I'm like, should they really be just giving people matches?
Should you really have open windows like that in a lunatic asylum where you can
probably not a good idea.
Take a running leap? I'm sick of this. Goodbye.
I'm really surprised they didn't.
We only eat peas for lunch.
Yeah. And go to group shock therapy.
I would rather jump out of this window.
It's not like being in a spa.
And she's just chilling real emotionally on the in the window. You know?
Smoking like somebody in a 1930s movie. They always look so cool when they smoked back then because they didn't know.
Yes. And they had a long stick.
It's not bum a stick, it's a cancer stick, people.
Right. One of those long things like Cruella de Vil had. I don't know what that's called. You know.
But with a plastic.
Yeah, why? What's the point of that?
I don't know.
Keep the smoke away from your face.
I guess.
The cigarette's way down here.
Yeah. It prevents wrinkles. Whatever. I don't know.
So weird.
So patients were often looked. No. This happens to me every.
Oh, just wait!
Time.
I mean, just wait. I wish I'd gone first.
Locked in cells, not looked in cells.
Same thing.
So that's how they spent their days.
So they had a cell though that they like lived in, I guess.
That they would just if like no one wanted to be the activities director that day and host bingo, it's like just leave everybody locked in their cells. Oh, I clearly know nothing about what happened in asylums back in those days. I think I'm getting it confused with like senior living facilities, but whatever. Bingo is always a good time.
They probably had. I mean, I would hope they had some activities for them.
So even when they weren't locked in their cells, though, the entire estate was surrounded by high trenched walls that were referred to as the ha-ha walls.
High trenched walls.
Yeah, because they would just look at them and point to the patients and be like, look at those. Ha-ha. You're never getting over those. And that is why they were called the ha-ha walls, which is so cruel.
And what is the point of that?
Yeah, don't be a jerk.
Yeah. If you don't like your job, quit.
Yeah.
That's one of the things.
There are other jobs in the 1800s. You could put horseshoes on horses.
You could make candles.
You could work in a saloon. And wear like those frilly dresses and like spin around. Yeah, you could. Well, I'm pretty sure those gals maybe were there for other reasons, but whatever.
They went upstairs.
Yes.
That's where their work was. You could be a butcher.
You could. I don't know. No,
a teacher.
It all goes back to Little House on the Prairie now. That's all I know.
Well, Little Women. I went and saw Little Women with Rachel. Oh my God, I cried. I just cried and cried. Good. I have a confession to make. I've never read Little Women.
That makes me so sad.
I know,
for you.
and I own it. I discovered.
Oh my gosh.
I own it. A very old copy, but I had never actually read it before. And I don't.
My favorite books.
I'm not going to read it though, even now, because it's so freaking sad. Like I just sobbed. I'm like, oh my God, why am I doing this to myself? But I did it for Rachel.
Okay, way to go.
Anyway,
good job. Yeah, I spent many hours while I was in high school just hanging out in our school library reading classic literature. Such a dork. But can I just say?
Or hashtag goals.
Yeah. Have I talked about the library card on here before?
No.
I can't remember. Okay, so I lived in like a really,
fantastic, fabulous,
a town that was kind of known for being like, not great. Like a lot of shady stuff went down. But so what? That's every town. But for some reason that was Nebo. Oh, you from Nebo? You must be a drug addict. So anyways, but we didn't go to school in that town because there was no school. So we were bused to a public school at the nearest town. So I was a student there, and they had a public library in Pittsfield. And if you were a student and lived in Pittsfield, you could have a library card. But since I lived in Nebo, they told me I had to pay $25 for a library card. Well, no way, my house had $25 freaking dollars.
And you went to that school?
Yeah. So I was not allowed to get books.
Ew. So you just sat in the library and was like, screw you, I'm going to read them right here.
Well, no, that was my school library I would sit in. But there was also a public library. And I went there to get a library card and they would not give me one.
Shame on you.
Isn't that terrible?
Librarian from Pittsfield, shame on you.
Yeah. And let's talk about pulling people out of poverty. You don't take away their ability to educate and learn. Come on. Okay, so
Lincoln County, you need a library.
Oh my God, I voted yes.
Yes. I don't live in the county where I would vote yes as well.
All right, so despite these security measures with these walls, I'm just jumping back in. A male patient did disappear at one point.
Oh.
So the staff and members of the nearby community searched. Can you imagine living in the nearby community? Because even though most of the people in that place were not.
There were a few, though, probably.
But by the time then, yes. But they had the reputation of being like absolutely loosey-goosey in the head. So, like, somebody escaped.
Lock your doors.
Crap, everybody in the community, look out.
Yeah.
So they couldn't locate him.
Oh.
So several weeks after giving up the search, the asylum had a pet dog named Max.
Okay, that's kind of cute.
Max was found chewing on a bone.
Oh, God.
Which turned out to be a human leg.
Oh, my God.
So the staff... Yeah, so the staff was like, where did Max get this human leg? Max doesn't go outside the ha-ha walls either. So somewhere on this estate, Max...
Found a dead body.
So they continued to search the grounds and noticed a really terrible smell near the gatehouse and found the missing patient's body in a nearby tree.
What?
So he had climbed up in this tree to hide. And I don't know. He was like, I'll show you. I'm not coming down. And died in the tree. So due to the decomposition of his body, his leg fell off.
Wonder how
and
he
the dog
died,
got
though.
it.
It's so bizarre.
Probably just like sat up there and starved to death or something.
That is extreme.
That is very extreme, but kind of makes you wonder what awful things were they doing to the patients in that place that you'd rather sit in a tree and die.
Oh my God.
So there was I don't know where I'm at. So many visitors have claimed to see the ghost of that man wandering in the area, which stands to reason. I mean, I don't know. I don't understand anything about the afterlife.
I know.
Some of the ghosts have legs. Some of them
don't.
Some of them don't have faces. I don't know.
It's confusing.
So I know nothing about it.
I'm just curious. Yeah.
So there was a lady named Matron Sharp.
Okay, she sounds great.
Yes, she really was.
Oh, okay.
She was a caretaker at some point at the asylum, and she was well known for actually being very caring and compassionate with the patients there.
They needed that.
So that was very unlike most of the other staff. So there have been multiple eyewitness accounts of Matron Sharp's spirit. Oh. So here she is, stuck here in the afterlife, being seen still tending to the needs of her patients.
Oh my God.
Most often, she's seen in Grevillea Wing, which is the place where they did all of those electroshock therapies, consoling patients.
Oh. That's got to be residual, right?
It's got to be, because surely you're not coming back and still getting electroshock therapy in the afterlife.
No.
Please tell me
and
that's
surely,
residual.
If God is real and there is an afterlife and you're that nice lady, you don't have to keep doing that forever. For eternity.
Yes. And for those of you who don't know what residual hauntings are,
yes.
It's kind of like, they always kind of explain it on all the paranormal shows and stuff is, imagine you've taken a video of something and you just keep replaying that video over and over again. That can happen with energy. So some hauntings that people witness aren't actual spirits there. It's just their energy. Like the movie of their energy keeps playing
over and
on
over.
an endless reel.
Yeah.
So look at that.
Dropping knowledge.
You're welcome, people. I got to go back to calling them the people. That's why it's dropped off. They're like, oh, we're not their people anymore.
Well, I called them weirdos
Peace
on Facebook.
We are.
I mean, I thought that kind of fit. I don't know.
Takes two to tango. We're weirdos too.
We are.
So a lot of sightings in the area. I'm almost done.
Finally, thank God. No, I'm kidding.
Was the rec hall for patients, which makes sense. As it's probably one of the few places that they got to go hang out and not, be completely mistreated.
Yes.
So it was probably one of the more enjoyable spaces for them. In this area, people have also seen the ghosts of a young girl and an elderly man. So don't know. There's no history to back up who they would possibly be, but just there have been multiple sightings of a young girl and an elderly man. Even though I wrote Beechwood, that's not it. Beechworth only housed adults, children's laughter is often heard throughout the facility, and no one can explain why.
That's creepy.
But here's my thing. What I know about the way patients were treated in those hospitals back in those days, I guarantee there were sexual assaults.
Yes.
And babies came out of that. And then that's a dirty little secret. So
where'd those kids go?
Yeah, exactly. Beechworth didn't start making or marking. Can't read it. So anyways. I promise I'm on my last paragraph.
You're so fine.
Beechworth didn't start marking patients' graves.
Oh.
Until the 1980s.
What? So were they in a mass grave?
They're not in mass graves, but they're in unmarked graves.
Gross.
So
gross.
So it said that patients prior to the 1980s have nothing in place to acknowledge their existence, which could be another reason why the place is so haunted.
Well, yeah, that's so sad.
The end.
Amy, that was magical.
Are we on time? Okay.
Almost 40
got my
minutes.
readers on, so I got to slide them down my nose to be able to see across the room.
Oh my gosh, that was good.
Thank you.
I'm always interested in a sane asylum.
I know. Well, they've got that book, so it's like I got to cover some of the stuff out of it, or else I wasted my however much on Amazon.
Yeah. Okay, you all. I'm going to go ahead and apologize. I take this unpaid job very seriously. I really do. But this week I didn't, and I'm really sorry in advance. It hasn't even been that crazy of a week. I don't even know. I'm going to stop making excuses. So this is a lot of Wikipedia right here.
Okay.
But you know this one, and I know this one, so we're going to have some banter. I'm talking about Lizzie Borden today.
Oh, yeah.
Lizzie Borden
Took an axe.
gave her mama 40 whacks.
When she saw what she had done, she gave her father 41. Yeah.
I didn't put that in here. I
Feel
read it
free to go jump rope to that.
Yes. There's also a second verse to that.
Oh, I don't know.
I
was
found
going to
it
say
somewhere,
1,
but-
2, Freddie's coming for you, but that's totally unrelated.
But also fun.
For
God,
sure.
I love Freddy Krueger. He's one of the
Okay.
scariest, like, out of all the horror films, Freddy Krueger movies mess me up. Like,
Really?
of the slasher ones.
Oh.
Like, 80s style ones.
Yeah.
Like, when I think about, like, Jason or Michael Myers, like, those don't. Freddy
Yeah.
creeps me out because it's something with the sleep, you know?
Yeah, I guess. But he was just so silly
Yeah.
with his stupid, lame jokes all throughout all the movies.
yeah.
So, I don't know.
I met him. Did I tell you that?
No.
I met him in Las Vegas. I got a
Nice.
picture with him.
Nice.
I'll have to show it to you when I'm
Okay.
done.
Oh, wait, I think I saw that.
I was like, please pretend to slash my throat. Because that's what I said to a stranger on the street.
I thought you met Robert Englund.
Oh, no.
How do I not know this?
Like,
I'm
wow.
really impressed.
No, I met some like fake
That
Freddy.
one-ups me for the time I met Andrew McCarthy.
Okay. Lizzie Borden. Here we go. Lizzie Andrew Borden.
For real?
For real.
Wow.
Do you know what's funny too on Wikipedia? Sometimes because I just Wikipedia Lizzie Borden. Sometimes it has their signatures. Have you ever noticed that? Like if you I can't talk. If you Google a celebrity and go to their Wikipedia page, it will very often have their signature on it.
I
Like
guess I've never paid attention.
just an image of their signature, and hers is L.A. Borden.
Oh, she went by Lala to her friends. What up, Lala?
And her followers. So Lizzie Andrew Borden was born July 19th, 1860 in Fall River, Massachusetts, to her parents, Sarah and Andrew Jackson Borden. So they were really, really rich. Which I really didn't know that actually going into this. Like, I think I knew they weren't poor, but not this wealthy. So when Andrew died, which we'll get until later, his estate was valued at $300,000, which is equivalent to $8.5 million in 2019.
So they had some money.
They had some money. I mean, $8.5 million?
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
I could retire on that.
Yes, please. So despite his wealth, Lizzie's dad, Andrew, was known for being frugal. For instance, they didn't have any indoor plumbing or electricity at that time, which it was, I guess, I don't know anything, but at that time would have been common for like rich folks to have.
Oh,
but they didn't.
Scroogey McScrooge.
I know. I guess it does now. So Lizzie and her older sister Emma they were pretty religious growing up. So they attended the Central Congressional not Congressional.
They wrote the Declaration of Independence.
Central.
They passed bills. Your hair is going to catch on fire. Oh, God.
I am not drinking.
She almost had a flaming
Oh my God.
bun.
Wow. Thank you for saving my life.
You're welcome.
This is because I haven't fully read this. Not congressional. It doesn't freaking matter what church they went to.
They went to church a lot.
Oh my God. So Lizzie, as a young woman, she was very involved in church. She taught Sunday school to children of recent immigrants to the United States, which is pretty nice. She was just
Thanks, Lizzie. Maybe she was like trying to earn.
Well, like she's painted as a monster,
Yeah.
So, just give some background. She taught Sunday school to recent immigrants' children.
So was she
freaking nice.
She like indoctrinating them against their will into her cult?
Also that. Into our culture.
Have you seen the the miniseries that had, I think it was Christina Ricci starring as her?
No, but I read about it a lot
good.
on Lifetime.
Yeah.
It came up many times in my research,
Really
so I need to
good.
look into it. Christina Ricci creeps me out, too.
Yeah, she did a great job.
I bet, yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's who played her.
No, you're right, it
Okay.
was. Did they show her teaching Sunday school?
No.
That's because the people want us to just think that Lizzie, I mean, we'll get into it, but no one knows for sure she did this or not.
Yeah.
She was acquitted. Fun fact.
It was never proven.
She was also involved in other Christian organizations.
Oh, hey.
Such as the Christian Endeavor Society.
What are they endeavoring?
She served as the treasurer, secretary. I'm sorry, this is going to be so bad. I'm already slap happy. And she did contemporary social movements.
Oh, I thought you were going to say contemporary dance. Because that would have been great.
Oh my God. She was also a member of the Ladies' Fruit and Flower Mission. I don't even know what that means.
She was a real go-getter.
Women around town.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Get it, Lizzie Andrew Borden.
God. Okay, here we go. I'm on page 1 of like 7. I have gone through 3 paragraphs. So, and every time I see the word Lizzie, I think of Lizzo and...
Yeah. Put my hands up, check my nails.
Baby, how you feeling?
Feeling good as hell. Okay, I think we've sung like 4 songs now. We better dial it back.
Lizzie Andrew Borden was feeling good as hell.
She was.
Maybe not.
With her contemporary dance. And
With
her gardening
flower.
club.
What's a fruit and flower mission? Like, what's their mission?
Does he like help plant fruit and flowers in undeveloped countries? I don't understand.
Massachusetts. Oh my God. I'm so sweaty. My hands are so sweaty. Here we go. We're moving on. So, Lizzie's mom died. I don't know when, because I missed that. But 3 years after her mom died, her dad married a new woman, Abby. Durfee Gray. What's up with people's names? So Lizzie stated that she called her stepmother Mrs. Borden and demurred, I don't even know what that word means, on whether they had a cordial relationship. That doesn't even make sense. So basically, she didn't like her stepmom.
I mean, that's a tale as old as time.
Right. And I looked it up because I was like, maybe she was like really young or something and it bothered her, but she wasn't. So I don't really know what the deal is. But she thought that Abby had married her dad for his money.
I was going to say, I feel like in the miniseries, that was the thing. Yeah. Because didn't she have a sister?
Who?
Lizzie?
Lizzie does. Emma.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I feel like her and her sister both kind of had that attitude.
Yeah.
Like,
we'll get into it in my next paragraph. So Bridget Sullivan was their 25-year-old live-in maid, but they called her Maggie, which is very confusing because Maggie is not a shortened name of Bridget.
No.
Or even close. So I'm going to just call her Maggie from now on. She had immigrated to the United States from Ireland, and she actually testified that Lizzie and Emma rarely ate meals with their parents.
Oh, who portrayed her in that show? That miniseries. I feel like it was
haven't
Kristen
watched it.
Stewart, but I don't think that's right.
No, I think you might be right.
Was it?
I read something about Kristen Stewart when I was going through all this. It may really have been her.
I think maybe it was.
Well, because there's a little bit of there's a thing with those two. We'll get into it. They might have had a tryst.
They did.
Wow, wow.
It was just like,
Did they
Save the Last Dance,
what?
right? With Julia Stiles and
That guy?
I don't know. I don't think he ever made any more movies that ruined his career.
It was a beautiful movie.
They were like having dance-offs.
You mean Lizzie and Maggie?
Yeah. They fell in love.
I think they were throwing fruit at each other, wearing fruit hats or something with fruit.
And flowers.
And flowers. God, Lizzie, get a freaking regular hobby. It's so weird. Okay.
Still on page 1, people.
Here we go. Maybe I should just always do this. It makes it more fun when I literally... Okay. Tensions had been growing. So basically, Emma, who is Lizzie's sister, and Lizzie were really pissed because Andrew, their dad, started giving properties to Abby and her family. Such as... Abby's sister received a house.
Oh.
And so they're like, what the heck? That's not cool. And so Emma and Lizzie were like, we want a rental property. Literally. And so they purchased one from their father for $1.
And insisted Joanna Gaines remodel it for them.
Like a farmhouse.
I don't know why I'm talking in a villain voice, eh? That's not a villain voice either. That's the worst villain of all time.
Hey, you see? You're talking like that guy from, what's that movie? It's a Wonderful Life. You know, the rich
Jimmy
guy.
Stewart.
What?
No.
What? Jimmy Stewart. Hey, you see? I run the bank.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Mr. Banks. I don't know.
Hey, see? You need to pay me back on my loan. It's not even right. Okay. What am I saying? Okay. Give me your rental property, Dad. I hate you. So stupid.
It really is.
So,
do they really want to be landlords? Come on.
Do they understand
that sounds like a nightmare.
do they understand the responsibility?
Although if there's like no indoor plumbing or electricity, like what's there to fix, honestly?
Nothing's breaking
You
down.
gotta go dig a new hole and move the outhouse and sit it on top of the new hole.
Lizzie, our outhouse is full. Shut up! Don't even. Where's your rent check? Don't even care. I'm a slumlord. Thousandaire. That's a terrible joke.
Lizzie is really, her character is really developing before my very eyes.
She's evolving. There's a lot going on with Lizzie. Still on page 1 of 7. Soon we're going to get into the terrible murders.
Yeah, that's not funny.
No.
What a terrible way to die.
Oh, Lord almighty. So anyway, they purchased that rental house for $1. And a few weeks before the murders...
Did they purchase it from him for $1?
Yes.
Did
They bought
he buy them a house for $1?
No.
Okay.
Lizzie and her sister each paid 50 cents and bought it from their dad. Like,
okay.
What is the point of that? So I guess for tax purposes?
And it's kind of ironic that their 50 cents came from their dad.
Right? Dad, give me 50 cents to buy this from you.
I don't think anybody's paying Lizzie for her fruit and flowers.
No.
Unless her fruit and flowers are something that aren't really fruit and flowers. I mean, I'm not judging.
What would her fruit be? Oh, a peach. And her flower and her orchid.
Flower. Yeah. Do those open wide.
Or a lily. Like, what are flowers that look kind of vaginal? Okay. So a few weeks before the murders, they sold the rental property back to their dad for $5,000.
How did he? That's like a Donald Trump business deal right there.
It's the
that
worst.
is so
Their
bad.
dad is so dumb. So $5,000 in today's money is $142,000.
And 50 cents was 50 cents in today's money. So that's a really crappy
They got a
business
great
deal.
return on their investment.
Sure. Maybe Joanna Gaines did come in and redo it.
Okay. So the night before the murders, spoiler alert, there's going to be murders. In case you didn't know.
I mean, where have you been? If you don't know
about Lizzie Borden, get your life on track. You need to reevaluate. Go start journaling. Like Jessica Simpson.
Oh, Jessica.
I love her.
She preferred Mead notebooks.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
That's interesting to me.
Yeah.
I love her. Okay. Freaking John Mayer. What a dick.
What a jerk.
I hate that guy.
God.
Sorry if you like John Mayer.
So toxic.
Sorry, not sorry. What a psycho.
Like, very psycho.
Don't sue us.
Master manipulator.
Master manipulator.
Yeah, don't sue us. We're just quoting Jessica's book.
She said it, not us.
Paraphrasing. Okay. Of course.
So the night before the murders, John Morse, who was the brother of Lizzie and Emma's mom who had died.
Okay, so Uncle
John. Yeah, Uncle John, thank you. He showed up. And he was going to visit and stay for a few days to discuss some business matters with their dad.
Quit
selling
houses
to
for
your
50
daughters, to your relatives. Or maybe it was like business matters.
Okay, now I'm the one not getting your...
I don't know, maybe they were lovers.
Uncle John and Dad?
They're not.
And Andrew?
They would have been brothers-in-law.
Well, true.
I don't know, I'm just making things up. This is all speculation.
Allegedly.
Okay, so some people say that the conversation that Uncle John and Andrew, Dad, had may have like really stirred things up and aggravated an already tense situation. Wikipedia says citation needed. So that's purely speculation. Okay. Also, fun fact, for several days before the murders, the entire house had been violently ill. Blah, blah, just vomiting everywhere. Because somebody speculated that mutton left on the stove and
they have no indoor plumbing. That sounds like a nightmare.
Where are you shitting? For real, though.
Your pants, probably.
Or like outside. Oh, God. Anyway. But Abby thought that they had been poisoned, the stepmom, because Andrew was not popular. He sucked, like John Mayer. Moving on. August 4th, 1892. Went down in history.
Is this like out of a diary?
No.
Oh, okay.
Nope, it's not. I just don't know. So Uncle John arrived the evening of August 3rd, and he slept in the guest room that night. Great.
So your theory was not correct about Andrew.
Nope. After breakfast the next morning, everyone was present. Andrew.
Had they stopped pooping all the time?
That's not clear. Andrew, Abby, Lizzie, Uncle John, and Maggie were all present. So Andrew and Uncle John went in the sitting room, and they chatted for nearly an hour. Uncle John left around 8:45 to buy a pair of oxen.
I have to go see a man about a pair of oxen.
Can you only buy oxen in pair? Sorry, these only come in a pair. It's like socks or shoes. You need two to pull your wagon.
Well, maybe it's like buy one, get one free. It was a BOGO.
BOGO on oxen. I gotta go, Andrew. There's a sale. Why am I doing like a character? Becoming Henry Zabrowski.
Except all the characters are exactly the same.
I know. I really need to work on my... That's the charm of me.
It is.
Just not good.
You're very dependable with that one character.
That character is always here. Okay. All right, so Uncle John went to buy his pair of oxen and visit his niece in Fall River, which is where they are, so I don't know why we needed to say that, and planned to return back around lunch.
With the oxen?
I guess he was going to ride him back. Yeah. Like, I don't know. That's
there's two of them, though. Is he like...
You lead
really
one.
Long legs? He's straddling them both?
With his butt in the middle? It's so awkward. Don't walk apart. Maybe he was leading one. Okay. So then Dad, Andrew, he left for his morning walk. Citation needed. No one knows if that's true or not. So Abby went upstairs. Although cleaning the guest rooms was one of Lizzie and Emma's jobs, she decided to go do it because, apparently they sucked and were not reliable.
Okay, great.
Somewhere between 9 and 10:30 a.m. to make the bed. According to the forensic investigation, Abby was facing her killer at the time of her attack. Not attacked, which is really scary. Yeah. She was first struck on the side of the head with a hatchet, which cut her just above her ear, causing her to turn and fall face down on the floor, creating contusions on her nose and forehead. Her killer then struck her multiple times, delivering 17 more direct hits to the back of her head, killing her.
Oh, what a terrible...
I know. If you're so inclined, the picture of her dead on the ground is on the Wikipedia page.
Yep.
She is covered, I think, with a sheet. But still, it's like, that is... Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very gruesome.
Yeah. When Andrew returned at around 10:30 a.m., his key failed to open the door. So he knocked for attention. Yes. So Maggie went to unlock the door, but found it jammed and uttered an expletive. How do they know that? Mother effer. She was Irish. No, why did I just do a pirate?
What's the top of the damn morning with the door? I don't know. That was
Mary and Joseph.
Did I look angry?
You did. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. That's a Karen Gilgara for you. Oh, okay, that's really funny. She would. Oh, this gives me creeps though. The creeps.
The creeps.
So I creep. She would later testify that she heard Lizzie laughing immediately after this. But she didn't see Lizzie, but she stated that the laughter was coming from the top of the stairs. And so at that point, Abby would have already been dead. And so she would have been able to see her body up there. So it's creepy. She's just like, ah! I mean, maybe not. But that's what I imagine. The Fruit and Vegetable Club will never believe this.
Apparently she was murdered by Tickle Me Elmo, because that's kind of what that sounds like.
That's creepy. Can you imagine? With a hatchet? His little arms? It's like Annabelle all over again, except fuzzier.
It's like, tickle this.
Tickle this bitch. God. This is so not funny. And we're really not, sorry because it's horrifying. So later, so obviously, as you can tell, this all went to trial. What time is it getting? Oh, God.
You're good.
Okay, so this all went to trial later. And so Maggie had to testify. So some of this is from her testimony. Okay. Yep, that's the right word. So Lizzie later denied being upstairs and testified that her father had asked her where Abby was and that she had replied that a messenger had delivered Abby a summons to visit a sick friend. That doesn't even make sense.
What? I don't understand how things worked back in those days. That's so confusing.
Who's the messenger?
Who? Hey, how do you get a messenger to come to your... Like, would it be easier than summoning a messenger to go deliver a message about someone being sick to just walk to their house and be like, hey, Judy is sick. Be a good friend. Come bring her some chicken noodle soup.
How do you even contact the messenger company?
Or maybe Judy had some bad mutton, too. Who knows?
What the hell is mutton, by the way?
Sheep?
What?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure.
Ew.
Mutton chops.
Right, now we're back to that again.
We're back
well, now I'm gonna look up mutton.
I think I'm like pretty sure
mutton,
it's sheep.
My hands are so sweaty. Wow. Mutton is, oh God. Yeah. The flesh of sheep. Especially mature sheep.
Oh.
Used as food. Okay, great. That's disgusting. Great. So
she was summoned.
She was summoned. Where am I? She also said that Lizzie stated that she then had removed her dad's boots. I guess he came back from his walk and helped him into slippers before he laid down on the sofa for a nap, which isn't true because in the crime scene photos, he's still wearing his boots.
Oh.
So Lizzie lied there.
Didn't get her story straight.
No. She then informed Maggie of a department store sale and permitted her to go. But Maggie felt sick and went to take a nap instead. Citation needed. Were they department stores?
It was Macy's. She's like, I had to go get the new Jessica Simpson pumps.
I know.
They're just out today.
Go to Dylan's, please. But you don't have a toilet?
Yeah.
Like, where are your priorities?
Get them straight.
Okay, so Maggie testified that she was in her third floor room resting from cleaning windows. God, poor Maggie.
I know. What a terrible life.
She's like, I just wanted to get out of the potato famine. I'm sick of cleaning these people's... There's a lot of windows in that house, too. Yeah. Look at them all.
I had to write a boat.
Yeah,
like,
full of
months.
Everyone's
with
vomiting.
Everyone sick. I did not sign up for this.
No. When just before 11:10, she heard Lizzie call from downstairs. Maggie, come quick. Father's dead. Somebody came in and killed him. Andrew was slumped on a couch in the downstairs sitting room, struck 10 or 11 times with a hatchet. One of his eyeballs had been split in two, suggesting that he had been asleep when he was attacked. His still bleeding wound suggested a very recent attack, and detective estimated that it happened around 11 a.m. So 10 minutes before Maggie was summoned by Lizzie. So, the investigation. Lizzie Borden's initial answers to the police officer's questions were at times strange and contradictory. Initially, she reported hearing a groan or a scraping noise or a distress call before entering the house. What? But 2 hours later, she told police she had heard nothing and entered the house not realizing that anything was wrong. When asked where her stepmother was, she recounted Abby receiving a note asking her to visit the sick friend, the summon aforementioned.
Judy
just needs some... Yep. So that's great. Cool. So she also stated that she thought Abby had returned and asked if someone could go upstairs and look for her. So Maggie and a neighbor, Mrs. Churchill, poor Mrs. Churchill, I hope she wasn't like elderly or just any age because it's horrible, were halfway up the stairs when their eyes were level with the floor when they saw Abby laying face down in her own blood. So it's really, really horrible. Yeah. So in the basement, police found 2 hatchets, 2 axes, and a hatchet head with a broken handle. The hatchet head was suspected of being the murder weapon as the break in the handle appeared fresh, and the ash and dust on the head, unlike the other 2, appeared to have been deliberately applied to make it look as if it had been in the basement for some time.
Oh.
It's like the staircase.
Yes. Great detective work, though.
Right. Hey, you see, this looks deliberately applied.
Yeah. I'm going to start telling people that when they come to my house. I deliberately made it look like I haven't cleaned in a week. Just
because.
For no reason whatsoever.
For a purpose, but I don't want to tell you what it is. Okay, so they took however, none of those tools were removed from the house. Great detective work.
Yeah, it's called evidence. Yeah, that's all I got with it. That's just what it's called.
Yeah,
that wasn't
exactly.
A joke.
Am I shouting? Probably.
Yeah, I imagine
God only knows. Because of the mysterious illness that had stricken the household before the murders, the family's milk and Andrew and Abby's stomachs were tested for poison, but none were found. So Lizzie and Emma's friend Alice decided to stay with them. Alice decided to stay with them the night following the murders. Ooh, in the house? Sorry, this story is as much a surprise to me as it is to you. While Uncle John spent the night in the attic guest room. Okay. Oh, but some people think that he had slept in the murder site guest room, but he didn't. Well, would be so jacked up. That's his sister.
Yeah.
No. Oh, wait, no, that's not his sister. His dead.
Oh, that's right.
The dead.
Oh, then maybe he didn't care. He's like, I'm so tired from hurting my pair of oxen. I don't care where I sleep.
Yeah.
Or he's like, can my oxen sleep in that room? And I'll take the attic guest room.
Yeah, I'll go up here. But that's kind of morbid, though, that Lizzie and Emma still stayed the night. I mean, maybe they didn't have anywhere else to go, but they're rich. Like, go to an inn.
Yeah. If there's a department store, there's a hotel.
Or like a nice old woman down the street who'd be, or maybe people were like, never mind.
Maybe you shouldn't have sold that rental property back to your dad. You could have slept in your 50
And maybe people were creeped out by them and scared.
Well, true.
They were like, oh, they did it. Who knows?
There's no room at the inn for you.
Yeah. So police were stationed around the house on the night of August 4th, during which an officer said he had seen Borden enter the cellar with Russell, their friend, so Emma, and I should just call her Alice because that's her name. They call her by her last name, carrying a kerosene lamp and a slop pail. He stated that he saw both women exit the cellar, after which Borden returned alone, although he was unable to see what she was doing. He stated it appeared she was bent over the sink. So they feel like she was doing something weird in the cellar, but what? The murder's over. Like, what is she? It doesn't even matter. So when Uncle John left the next day, he was mobbed by hundreds of people. Police had to escort him back to the house.
What? Because they think he did it, or they
just wanted to? They were like
out. Paparazzi. I don't know. God, it's Princess Di all over again. Except not all over again, because this is way before that. But
it's the OG. So on August 6th, the next day, police conducted a more thorough search of the house, 2 days later, inspecting the sisters' clothing and confiscating the broken-handled hatchet head. Well, it's too late.
Yeah.
That evening, a police officer...
done that good detective work at the
beginning.
Day one.
And don't let potential, suspects stay in the house.
Listen, Olivia Benson would have never allowed this to happen.
Never, ever. Olivia Benson. That evening, a police officer and the mayor visited the Bordens. What? Oh, and Lizzie was informed that she was a suspect in the murders. The next morning, Alice, the friend, entered the kitchen to find Borden tearing up a dress. She explained that she was planning to put it on fire because it was covered in paint. It was never determined whether it was the dress she'd been wearing the day of the murders. So we're going to go into the
now she's an artist as well. She got her fruits, her flowers,
painting. Don't mind me.
Oil paintings.
So I'm going to go into a little bit of the trial. So she appeared at, she was put on trial.
As one is when they are suspected in a murder case.
She'd been prescribed morphine to calm her nerves.
What?
Yeah, and some people suspect that some of her testimony was affected by that because she was kind of weird during it.
Well, yeah, morphine is hardcore.
To put you to sleep.
Yes.
So she seemed real chill. That might be why. So her behavior was erratic, and she often refused to answer questions, even if the answer could have been beneficial to her. She often contradicted herself and provided alternating accounts of the morning in question, such as saying that she was in the kitchen reading a magazine when her dad arrived home, and then later saying she was in the dining room ironing, and then saying she was coming down the stairs. So the district attorney was super aggressive and confrontational. That's kind of his job.
Well, yeah.
And she was served with an arrest warrant on August 11th. Blah, blah, blah. Her trial took place in New Bedford. Oh, this is interesting, though. So 5 days before the trial's commencement, does that mean beginning or end?
End.
Thank you. On June 1st, there was another axe murder in Fall River, the same town they lived in. This time, the victim was Bertha Manchester. Poor Bertha, who was found hacked to death in her kitchen. The similarities between the murders were striking and noted by jurors. However, Jose, somebody, I'm not sure why he's important. I could just keep reading. He was convicted of that murder and was determined to not have been in the vicinity at the time of the Borden murders. So, weird
copycat killer.
Yeah, Dexter killer kind of thing.
Yeah, or they just pin it on him.
There's also that because he's an immigrant.
Yeah, because his name's Jose, and it's the whatever hundreds.
1800s, and he's a Portuguese immigrant. Yeah, good point.
He didn't have a prayer.
Yeah.
Like, here they are with, like, hatchets in their basement, clearly, like, and
tearing up
poor Jose, there was probably not one shred of evidence against him, and he was
poor
great.
guy.
Sorry, I'm just totally
please keep talking
this
as I just look through my notes frantically. So, great. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Where do I get to where it's determined whether she was... this is interesting. Both victims' heads had been removed during their autopsy, and the skulls were admitted as evidence during the trial.
Oh.
Yeah, upon seeing them in the courtroom, Lizzie fainted.
Yeah.
Is it just their skulls? Yeah.
Doesn't it seem like women fainted a lot more back in those days, too? Like, I've never known anyone to just faint from shock. Like, I kind of people that faint from, like, heat exhaustion.
We should bring that back.
We should.
Dramatic
fainting.
You have to go, I feel like, you can't just silently faint.
I would be terrible at fainting, I feel like.
Fainting?
I would have to, like, make sure I walked over to the couch or...
No, because I would probably die from the fall.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bust my face.
Everyone's like, why does she have gymnastic mats all over her house? Because I'm bringing fainting back, that's why.
Exactly.
It's Justin Timberlake's follow-up to Sexy Back.
I'm bringing fainting back.
Yeah.
So after an hour and a half of deliberation, the jury acquitted Lizzie of the murders, and upon exiting the courthouse, she told reporters, "I'm the happiest woman in the world," which is kind of a weird reaction.
Yeah, that is.
And one of the reporters,
again, the paparazzi.
Where they just have what do they have? Do they have paper, parchment, and
I guess they're not recording it with anything other than their hands are recording it. With a pencil. I
know. I'm just trying to imagine what the 1800, what technologies they had.
None.
They had paper.
Zero.
Not like a feather. They didn't have feather pens then, did they?
Pens?
I am stupid.
I don't know what they wrote with.
I don't know either. So here's some... What was that?
I don't know. Was that an earthquake?
Somebody downstairs.
I'd say they're home.
It's Chris and Mandy.
Yeah.
Okay. So... So although acquitted at trial, Borden... Lizzie remained the prime suspect in her...
I try to make him quiet.
No, it's so cute. Please don't. You have the cutest sneeze.
That's not my normal sneeze. I'm just trying to keep it quiet. So and faint. That's how women who faint on the regular sneeze as well.
Amy is also wearing a giant pink hat
and a petticoat.
She's also quickly became a member of the
Of course, that's probably why they fainted all the time. Then they have to wear like corsets.
I mean, that's
crap,
probably why.
so,
Literally heat exhaustion. Okay, so I'm just going to move through this kind of quickly because I feel like I'm talking forever. But even though she was acquitted of the murders, everyone thought she did it. I mean, she was the OJ of this time.
Absolutely.
Everyone was like, yeah, so you did it.
Yeah.
Her and her sister, they moved in together and lived together for a while, but they ended up having a falling out. And she kind of just died alone. Like, it's kind of sad. So mystery author Ed McBain, in his 1984 novel, Lizzie, suggests that Borden committed the murders after being caught in a lesbian tryst with Maggie.
Yep, that was Portrait, I think.
With Kristen Stewart.
Kristen Stewart.
So, oh, yeah, it actually talks about the show. It's totally fine. So they think that, maybe that's what was going on.
Yeah.
There's also some speculation that it's possible that her dad was sexually assaulting her, and that, she'd had enough and she lost it and murdered them.
But total speculation.
But that's speculation. I don't know. And then also they kept saying that she could have been in a fugue. How do you say this?
I don't know. Fugue?
Fugue. A fugue state. I don't know what that means.
I don't either. I was thinking of the Fuego. Those spicy chip things. Some Takis.
She'd eaten too many spicy chips. And the indigestion was too much to handle.
She just started wielding a hatchet. Because she didn't have any Tums.
Or a toilet.
It's like it's eating my insides.
Dad, I told you I wanted a
But
toilet.
Abby's family a house, and I can't even take my talkie poops in my own house. I don't know. God, this would wrap it up.
I haven't even got to the hall.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we haven't even talked about anything paranormal yet. You're going to set your hair on fire, and that is going to be the cue to cut.
The meet cute.
The meet cute to cut it out.
Okay, we're moving on.
I just did an Uncle Joey. You're welcome.
My face is so slippery. Sorry, my hair is sticking.
You touch your face and then your paper, you're not going to be able to read because the words are going to be smeared all over the place.
Let's get to the haunting.
Okay, let's do.
And then we can end this mess.
3-ring circus. Minus the rings.
The house, which still stands, is open for reservations or tours. It's a bed and breakfast.
Yeah,
I'd should stay there for any guests that want to stay. It's considered to be haunted by the multiple spirits that have lived there. So Lizzie's dad is said to carry on his usual business, unwilling to accept the fact that he's dead. No, I'm not dead. Meh.
My eyeball's split in half, but
I'm fine.
And he just walks around making dad jokes. I've got a splitting headache.
You nailed that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I had a splitting headache. Man, dad jokes give me every time. So dumb. I'm so dumb. Okay. He will respond to questions and is the common spirit to provide EVPs. Abby said to be the most common sighted spirit, appearing through the home and usually will yell from time to time, believed to be reenacting the moment of her death. That's sad.
Yeah.
1 month after renovations of the home in the Uncle John room, there was an indentation made on the bed believed to be her spirit. I guess Abby's spirit, not Uncle John. John, what's your pronoun? I don't know.
What's he got to do with this?
Yeah, so it must be Abby's. Other sightings include that of Lizzie herself in the basement, cleaning the hatchet used to perform the deadly deed. I don't know if I believe that, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Why would Lizzie be... Well, maybe. I don't know. Investigators also receive evidence from Maggie, the maid, and her pet cat. This includes sightings of the maid, hearing cat meows, cold spots, and more. Way to leave us hanging. Doors will open by themselves, footsteps can be heard, and lights will flicker. This is one house... Oh, that's really dumb. Anyway. Guests and staff members alike of the famous bed and breakfast have had their fair share of experiences as well. You can tell these aren't my words. Some have reported the sounds of a woman weeping, and others claim to see women in Victoria era clothing dusting the furniture and straightening the covers. Because we're still cleaning.
Yeah,
Sorry, Maggie. Maggie,
Does
go to the
anyone
light.
ever come back and just like live their best afterlife?
Well, you'd see just like all kinds of ghosts on the beaches drinking margaritas.
Yeah, it's like Jersey Shore of the afterlife.
That'd be great. They're just all tanning. But you're dead, guys. It like doesn't work.
You're so dead.
That's what Snooki would do.
For sure.
So it even sometimes happens when guests are in their bed. Like they'll see a ghost come and try to straighten their covers. I would.
Oh, yeah. And stop it.
Excuse me, I'm in here.
I straighten in the morning when I get out of bed.
Right. What? So they hear footsteps going up and down the stairs and back and forth on the floors above them, even when they know it's empty. And muffled conversations can be heard coming from the insides of otherwise vacant rooms. Next page. This I thought was really interesting too. So the next door neighbor to Lizzie's house lived her great Uncle Lodwick. So he lived next door to the Borden's house. And Uncle Lodwick's second wife, Eliza, brutally murdered 2 of her 3 children.
Oh.
Like around the same time. She threw all of them down a well before slitting her own throat with a straight razor.
Oh.
That came out of left field.
That's real intense.
I mean,
and she killed him by throwing them down the well? She threw their bodies down the well.
She murdered 2 of her 3 children when she threw them down a well.
Oh, God.
That's horrible.
I just imagine not dying right away either when something terrible. Like that happens. And then the movie, The Ring, was made.
Exactly. So it said
that's what it's based on.
It's so sad. So it said that those 2 children haunt the Lizzie Borden house also, and it's not uncommon for guests to bring small toys for them to play with. And they've reported hearing children's laughter and the sound of them playing on the 2nd and 3rd floors. And there's a room in the house called the children's room, which is where most of the activity takes place. So if you're into that and really interested, the address to the Lizzie Borden Bed and Breakfast is 230 2nd Street in Fall River, Massachusetts. So you should really, get there.
Check it out.
You can stay the night. They do tours like every single day almost of the entire year. And the home has been kept like almost exactly like it was then. So it's really, good. Cool. They do 50-minute long guided tours.
Very nice.
And that is the story of Lizzie Borden.
Nice job.
And I'm really sorry in advance.
I hope you enjoyed that wild ride. I mean, if that didn't make
you didn't download that,
have people download this,
I don't know what will. What more do you want from me?
What are you doing with your life?
So please rate, review, and subscribe. Share us with your friends. Download. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook.
Yeah. There a story you want to hear?
Yeah.
Us cover?
Tell us.
Yeah.
I'm doing one next week that Eyeball told me to do. Bam.
And I can't do that because she has yet to send me the list.
Sorry. I'm doing it right now.
So sorry, Eyeball. I got nothing against you.
She called me right out.
I just don't know what you want us
I'm
to do.
I'm forwarding it to you now.
Okay. Thanks.
I'm sorry. God,
okay.
I suck at life.
No, it's my own fault for
not reminding me.
Not doing anything on the, technology and this little thing.
Yes,
gig
you do.
We got going on.
Amy Johnston sent. Bam.
Thanks.
Amy Johnston, alien head. That's what you are on my phone.
Great. You're a ghost of mine.
Oh, great. Oh, okay. We love you.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
That wasn't me.
It was my iPad.
Okay.
I love you. We love you. Goodbye.
Thanks, guys.